Well, let's get to your top story. And Indian Air Force as well as the Indian Navy are assisting rescue operations in flood-hit Tuticorin as well as other districts including Kanyakumari, which have been the worst affected. This has pounded by the historic rainfall over the last 4 days. Helicopters known all over the world as the only 5 chopper military display team are now being flown by the same pilots who fly the various formations. Only this time around they are flying aid to the inundated areas. Nearly 40 lakh people have been affected by the record rain, while Srivaikuntam and villages near have suffered the greatest damage as far as the rainfall that we've seen over the last 4 days. Now, amid heavy rainfall that's caused widespread damage in Tamil Nadu, the Indian Air Force and the Army has taken in fact, the relief and rescue operations are underway. Several stranded people have been rescued from parts of South Tamil Nadu. During the rescue, the Indian Navy personnel also distributed food and relief materials to flood-hit people in Madurai and Tuticorin. 1 Mi-17 V5 and 4 ALH Dhruv helicopters of the Indian Air Force continued the operations from Madurai and Tuticorin, flying for more than 25 hours. The Indian Air Force dropped nearly 24 tons of relief material in the affected areas. As of date, the Indian Air Force has flown more than 48 hours and has delivered nearly 35 tons of relief material since the beginning of the efforts. Now, apart from the aircrew flying the helicopters, the mission also includes a team of commandos who carry out the task of serving the survivors during these operations back at the launch base. A dedicated team of technicians ensures that the helicopters are fully ready and serviceable at all times so that the mission can go through without a hitch. My colleague Sam Daniel gets us this ground report.
Divya, for the 4th day, not much of rains in Tuticorin. The water levels are gradually receding. We come to you from Srivaikuntam, the worst affected area in the flood-ravaged Tuticorin district of Tamil Nadu. And we are on the railway track a kilometer away from the Srivaikuntam railway station, where the express train carrying around 700 passengers between Chennai and Tiruchendur was stranded for more than 30 hours, and ultimately the army and the NDRF along with RPF personnel had to come to rescue these passengers on Monday. And the river Thamirabarani, which was on spate from Sunday onwards, runs parallel to this track, and the waters that flowed from the river had washed away the ballast on this track, because of which the train was originally stopped. Had the train proceeded this side, that could have been catastrophic. It was an alert railway employee who averted this tragedy. In terms of the flood situation, the Indian Army and the NDRF continued to access several inaccessible or cut-off pockets in Tuticorin. Yesterday alone, several thousand, at least a few thousand marooned communities or individuals were rescued by boats and some by choppers, and they continue to expand their operation. Waters are receding. The challenge for them, they say, is that in many villages, particularly around Srivaikuntam, several tanks and lakes have breached, and every village has been washed away, leading to loss of homes for many, loss of personal belongings, clothes, and the anger is also building up across Tuticorin because of the delay in relief supplies. Officials saying over the last 3 days they have intensified, but on the first day they could not just move anywhere because of the severe currents, and also many of these areas were totally unreachable. But now they say they're also being supplemented by Air Force and Coast Guard choppers, and many using boats. Both NDRF and Army are reaching out. They say things will turn a lot better by this evening. Already they say the levels have come down in many of the inundated areas and access has been restored. But people are angry that in many areas there's no power supply for the 4th day, there's no telephone or internet connectivity for them, and that led to a series of protests on the Tirunelveli Tuticorin highway yesterday, leading to traffic blockade for more than 3 hours. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin is visiting Tuticorin and also the other neighboring districts here possibly. He will be meeting affected people in low-lying areas. He has also met the Prime Minister the day before, yesterday, and he has asked the Prime Minister to declare the Tamil Nadu floods, both the ones in southern districts now and the earlier one in Chennai and adjoining districts, as a national disaster, and he has sought an immediate relief of 2,000 crore rupees besides the 14,000 crore package the state had asked for the floods in Chennai and adjoining areas. So things are gradually improving. We are waiting for the official figures in terms of how many thousand people are still stranded or marooned in several pockets. and authorities are hopeful that now since the waters have receded, they'll be able to reach out faster, they'll be able to restore power supply. But even as we speak, there are thousands of people living in flooded homes or in flooded areas without enough food, water and relief supplies, also without electricity to a large extent.